Dogs seem so joyful and forgiving, always wagging their tails and greeting us with unconditional love. But beneath that happy exterior lies a sensitive soul, deeply affected by our daily actions. In this video, we've gathered 12 everyday things that well-meaning dog parents often do, which can unintentionally break their beloved dog's heart. Number 12. Skipping the morning ritual. You're running late for work, so you grab your keys and rush out the door without your usual morning routine with your dog. No big deal, right? You'll make it up to them later. But here's what you might not realize. Dogs are creatures of habit and ritual. That morning greeting, those few minutes of attention, that specific way you say goodbye, these aren't just nice-to-haves for your dog. They're essential anchors in their day. When you skip these rituals, your dog doesn't understand that you're late or stressed. They only know that something in their predictable world has changed, and change can be deeply unsettling for dogs. Research shows that dogs have an incredible internal clock and anticipate daily routines with remarkable precision. When these expectations aren't met, it can trigger anxiety and confusion. Think about it from their perspective. Imagine if someone you loved deeply just stopped acknowledging you one morning without explanation. You'd feel hurt and worried, wondering what you did wrong. Your dog feels the same way. They might spend the entire day replaying the morning in their minds, trying to figure out what changed. The solution is simple. Even on busy mornings, take just 60 seconds to acknowledge your dog. A quick pet, a few words, and your usual goodbye ritual can make all the difference. Consistency in these small moments builds emotional security. Number 11. The invisible walk. You're on your phone during the entire walk, scrolling through emails or social media, barely noticing your dog at the other end of the leash. Many dog owners think that as long as their dog is getting exercise, the walk is serving its purpose. But walks aren't just about physical activity. They're about connection, exploration, and shared experience. When you're mentally absent during walks, your dog notices. Dogs are incredibly attuned to our attention and engagement. For them, the walk is one of the highlights of their day, a chance to explore the world with their favorite person by their side. When you're distracted, you're essentially telling them that this special time together isn't important to you. Moreover, you're missing important communication. Dogs use walks to show us things they find interesting, to check in with us about potential threats, and to share their discoveries. When you're not present, you're breaking that communication loop. It's like trying to have a conversation with someone who's constantly looking at their phone, frustrating and hurtful. Studies on the human-dog bond show that shared activities with active engagement strengthen the relationship significantly more than passive time together. Your dog doesn't just want to walk. They want to walk with you, fully present. Instead of treating walks as a chore to check off your list, see them as quality time. Put the phone away, observe your dog's body language, let them sniff interesting spots, and engage with them. You'll be amazed at how much deeper your connection becomes. Number 10. Inconsistent house rules. Today your dog can sit on the couch, but tomorrow they get scolded for it. This weekend they're allowed table scraps, but on weekdays it's forbidden. One family member lets them on the bed, while another pushes them off. Sound familiar? Dogs thrive on consistency and clear boundaries. When the rules constantly change based on our mood or who's home, it creates profound confusion and stress. Unlike humans who can understand that sometimes it's okay, dogs need black and white rules to feel secure. Imagine living in a world where the rules change randomly and without warning. You'd be walking on eggshells constantly, never knowing if what you're doing is right or wrong. That's exactly how your dog feels with inconsistent rules. They want to please you. That's hardwired into their DNA. But how can they when the goalposts keep moving? This inconsistency can lead to anxiety-related behaviors like excessive barking, destructive chewing, or even depression. Dogs need to understand their place in the family structure and what's expected of them. When we fail to provide that clarity, we're setting them up for emotional distress. The solution requires family alignment. Sit down with everyone in your household and establish clear, consistent rules for your dog. Write them down if necessary, then stick to them. Every person, every time. Your dog's emotional well-being depends on this predictability. Number 9. Rushing through greetings. After being apart for hours, you come home and your dog is ecstatic, jumping, spinning, tail wagging like a helicopter. But you're tired, stressed, or in a hurry, so you brush past them with a quick pat or even push them away. Not now, you might say, heading straight for the kitchen or your phone. For dogs, reunions are incredibly meaningful. When you leave, they don't understand time the way we do. They don't know if you've been gone for an hour or forever. That moment when you return is emotionally charged for them. It's pure relief and joy that you've come back. When we dismiss or minimize this greeting, we're essentially telling them that their feelings don't matter. Dogs have been shown to experience a surge in oxytocin, the bonding hormone, during reunions with their owners. This isn't just excitement, it's a deep emotional response. By rushing through it, we're denying them the emotional closure they need. Think of it like this. Imagine being separated from someone you love desperately, not knowing when they'd return, and when they finally walk through the door, they barely acknowledge you. That rejection would sting deeply. The fix is surprisingly simple. Give your dog 2 full minutes of focused greeting time when you come home. Get down to their level, pet them, talk to them, let them express their joy. This small investment pays enormous dividends in your dog's emotional health and strengthens your bond immeasurably. Number 8. Ignoring their language. Your dog is trying to tell you something. Maybe they're yawning when there's no reason to be tired, turning their head away from a situation, or freezing in place. But you're not trained in dog body language, so you miss these signals entirely, or worse, you misinterpret them. Dogs communicate primarily through body language, and they're incredibly articulate when you know what to look for. When we fail to read these signals, we miss opportunities to understand their emotional state and respond appropriately. More concerning, we might push them into situations where they're clearly uncomfortable, causing them stress and eroding their trust in us. A yawn in a stressful situation isn't sleepiness. It's a calming signal indicating anxiety. A dog turning their head away isn't being stubborn. They're saying they're uncomfortable. Whale eye, where you can see the whites of their eyes, indicates stress or fear. Freezing isn't just standing still, it's a fear response. When we ignore these communications, dogs feel unheard and helpless. Imagine trying to tell someone you're scared or uncomfortable, using every tool you have to communicate, and being completely ignored. That's what it's like for a dog when we don't read their body language. Research shows that dogs who feel their communication is acknowledged by their owners show lower stress levels and stronger bonds. Learning basic canine body language isn't difficult. There are excellent resources available, and it transforms your ability to understand and support your dog emotionally. Start paying attention to your dog's subtle signals: ear position, tail carriage, body posture, mouth shape. When you notice stress signals, respond by removing them from the situation or giving them space. Show them that their voice matters. Number 7. The punishment delay. Your dog chewed your favorite shoes 3 hours ago. You come home, discover the destruction, and now you're angry. You grab the chewed shoe, show it to your dog, and scold them. Your dog looks guilty with those sad eyes, so they must understand what they did wrong, right? Wrong. This is one of the most heartbreaking misunderstandings in dog ownership. Dogs live entirely in the present moment. They have a window of about 3-5 seconds to connect an action with a consequence. After that, the connection is lost. When you come home hours later and punish your dog for something they did earlier, they have absolutely no idea why you're angry. They're not feeling guilty about the shoes. That guilty look is actually fear and confusion in response to your anger. They just know that you're upset, and they're scared. Imagine if someone you trusted came home in a rage and yelled at you, but you had no idea why. You'd replay everything you'd done that day, trying to figure out what you did wrong, feeling anxious and hurt. That's exactly what's happening to your dog. Delayed punishment doesn't teach dogs not to chew shoes. It teaches them that you're unpredictable and sometimes scary. It damages the trust that's fundamental to your relationship. Studies in animal behavior consistently show that delayed punishment is completely ineffective and actively harmful to the human-dog bond. If you catch your dog in the act of doing something wrong, a timely, calm no or redirection is effective. But after the fact, clean it up, dog-proof better, and provide appropriate chew toys. Your relationship is worth more than any pair of shoes. Number 6. Neglecting the sniff. You're trying to get through your walk efficiently, constantly pulling your dog along when they stop to sniff. "Come on, let's go," you urge, tugging the leash. After all, you're on a schedule, and there's nothing interesting about that fire hydrant to you. But to your dog, sniffing isn't a waste of time. It's how they experience and understand their world. A dog's sense of smell is 10,000 to 100,000 times more acute than ours. When they sniff, they're not just smelling. They're reading the neighborhood news, learning who's been there, gathering information about other dogs, and mentally mapping their environment. Constantly denying your dog the opportunity to sniff is like putting them in a sensory deprivation chamber. Imagine being taken to an art museum, but never being allowed to actually look at the paintings. Just rushed through the halls while someone tells you to hurry up. That's how your dog feels when they're not allowed to engage with their primary sense. Research shows that sniffing activities are mentally stimulating for dogs and can actually tire them out as much as physical exercise. Dogs who are allowed adequate sniffing time show lower stress levels and better overall well-being. Sniffing also activates the seeking system in their brains, which releases dopamine and creates positive feelings. The solution is balance. Build sniff time into your walks. Have stretches where you walk with purpose, but also let your dog have sniff zones where they can take their time exploring. Consider making some walks specifically slow, sniff-focused walks where the goal is mental enrichment, not distance covered. Your dog will be happier, calmer, and more mentally satisfied. Number 5, the isolation chamber. You mean well, you're crate training, or you need your dog in a separate room for safety reasons. But your dog spends most of their day isolated, alone in a crate or room, separated from the family. Meanwhile, everyone else is together in the living room, and your dog can hear you all laughing and talking without them. Dogs are pack animals to their core. For thousands of years, they've evolved to live in social groups, and their greatest joy is being with their family. When we consistently exclude them from family activities, even with good intentions, we're denying them their most fundamental need: belonging. Your dog doesn't understand why they're separated. They don't comprehend that you're protecting the furniture or that the crate is supposed to be a safe space. All they know is that their pack is together and they're alone. It breaks their heart every single time. Studies on canine social behavior show that dogs experience genuine distress when separated from their social group, even when their physical needs are met. This isn't about food, water, or shelter. It's about emotional connection and inclusion. Dogs who spend significant time isolated from their families show higher rates of anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems. The solution isn't to never use a crate or separate room. These tools have their place. But examine your daily routine. Is your dog isolated more than necessary? Can they be in the same room with you even if contained? Can you include them in family activities? If you're watching TV, can your dog be on their bed nearby? If you're eating dinner, can they have a chew toy in the dining room? If you're working from home, can they rest in your office? These small adjustments show your dog they're valued members of the family, not outsiders. Number 4, breaking promises. You tell your dog, "I'll be right back," and then you're gone for hours. You promise just one more minute during playtime, then immediately get distracted by your phone and forget about them. You say, "We'll go to the park later," and later never comes. Now, dogs don't understand our words in the literal sense, but they absolutely understand our patterns and routines. More importantly, they understand our tone and body language when we make these promises. They learn to anticipate what comes next based on our cues. When we consistently break these patterns and promises, dogs learn that they can't trust our signals. This creates a form of learned helplessness. They stop believing that their human's behavior is predictable or reliable. The emotional impact is significant: confusion, disappointment, and a gradual erosion of trust. Imagine if someone you loved constantly told you they'd do something with you, got your hopes up, and then consistently failed to follow through. You'd eventually stop believing them and might even start protecting yourself emotionally by not getting excited at all. Dogs do the same thing. Research on animal cognition shows that dogs have expectations based on learned patterns, and when these expectations are consistently violated, it causes stress and can lead to anxiety or depression. Dogs need to feel that their world is predictable and that their humans are reliable. The fix requires mindfulness. Before you say something to your dog or signal an activity, ask yourself if you can actually follow through right now. If you can't play yet, don't get the toy out. If you're not sure when you'll be back, don't make a big production of leaving. When you do make a promise, even a simple one like, "we'll play after dinner," honor it. Your reliability is the foundation of your dog's sense of security. Number 3, forgetting they age. Your dog used to run for miles and play for hours. Now they're slowing down, sleeping more, maybe having trouble with stairs or jumping. But you still expect them to keep up with the same activities, or worse, you become impatient with their limitations. "Come on, you can make it," you might say as they struggle up stairs that were once easy. Dogs age much faster than we do, and the transition can be heartbreaking for them. They remember being young and capable. Their spirit is often willing, but their body can't keep up anymore. When we fail to adjust our expectations and routines to their aging bodies, we're asking them to fail repeatedly at things they once could do easily. Think about how it would feel to have someone you love push you to do things that are now physically painful or impossible for you, showing frustration at your limitations. That's what it's like for an aging dog when we don't acknowledge their changing needs. Senior dogs often experience a form of grief over their lost abilities. They can sense our disappointment when they can't perform like they used to. This combination of physical limitation and emotional distress is profoundly sad for them. Studies show that senior dogs whose owners adapt activities to their capabilities maintain better quality of life and emotional well-being. The solution is acceptance and adaptation. Recognize the signs of aging and respond with compassion. Shorter, gentler walks instead of long hikes. Steps or ramps for furniture if they enjoy being up high. More frequent vet visits to manage pain or discomfort. Most importantly, show them that you love them just as much now as when they were young. Celebrate what they can still do rather than mourning what they've lost. Your aging dog needs to know they're still valued, still loved, and still an important part of your life, even if they can't fetch the ball like they used to. Number 2, conditional love. You're affectionate and engaged when your dog behaves perfectly, but when they make mistakes, break rules, or don't perform as expected, you withdraw your affection. Maybe you give them the cold shoulder after an accident in the house, or you withhold attention when they don't come when called. Here's the heartbreaking truth. Dogs love us unconditionally, but we often love them conditionally. We make our affection dependent on their behavior, treating love as a reward that must be earned rather than a constant given. Dogs are incredibly perceptive of our emotional states. When we withdraw affection as punishment, they feel it acutely. They don't understand that we're disappointed in a specific behavior. They just know that the person they love most is suddenly cold and distant. This creates deep anxiety and insecurity. The parallel to human psychology is clear. Children raised with conditional love, affection given only when they meet expectations, develop anxiety, low self-worth, and insecure attachment. The same is true for dogs. They need to know that your love is a constant, not something that can be taken away when they make mistakes. Studies in animal behavior show that dogs trained with positive reinforcement and consistent affection, even during corrections, show better emotional stability and stronger bonds with their owners than dogs whose owners use affection withdrawal as punishment. This doesn't mean you can't correct behavior or have boundaries. It means that even when you're addressing a problem, you do so with calmness and without withdrawing your fundamental love and care. Your dog needs to know that mistakes don't threaten their place in your heart. That security is the foundation of their emotional well-being and your unbreakable bond. Number 1, the biggest mistake. Now here's the biggest mistake, the one that underlies all the others. Treating your dog like an accessory to your life rather than a central part of it. It sounds simple, even obvious, but this fundamental mistake manifests in countless ways. We adopt dogs for what they can add to our lives, companionship, security, fun, but we forget that we are their life. You are your dog's entire world. While you have work, friends, hobbies, and a full life beyond your dog's life revolves entirely around you. Every day they wait for you. Every walk is an adventure because they're with you. Every meal is special because you provided it. Every nap is better because you're nearby. You are the center of their universe, their greatest joy, their primary purpose. When we forget this, when we treat our dogs as peripheral parts of our busy lives rather than beings whose entire existence centers on us, we break their hearts in ways both big and small. We rush past their greetings because we're busy. We scroll through our phones during their walks because we have other things on our minds. We leave them alone for hours without considering how those hours feel to them. Understanding that you are your dog's whole world doesn't mean you have to be perfect or spend every second with them. It means being intentional about the time you do spend together. It means recognizing that the small moments, the morning greeting, the goodbye ritual, the evening walk, the bedtime routine, aren't small to them. They're the highlights of their day. Dogs don't ask for much. They don't need expensive toys or gourmet food or designer accessories. They need you, present, engaged, and loving. When you play with them, be fully there. When you pet them, do it with intention. When you look at them, let them see that they matter. This perspective shift changes everything. Suddenly, those 2 minutes for a proper greeting don't feel like an inconvenience. They feel like the privilege of being loved unconditionally. That extra time on a walk for sniffing becomes an opportunity to give your dog joy. Consistency in routines isn't about rigidity. It's about providing security to a being who depends entirely on you. Your dog has given you their whole heart, their complete trust, their entire life. The question is, are we honoring that gift with the attention and intention it deserves? Have you ever noticed how your dog watches you, even when you think they're just resting? They're not just watching, they're checking in, making sure you're okay, staying connected to you. This behavior reveals something profound about the canine heart and how deeply they're attuned to us. Check out our next video to discover what it really means when your dog constantly checks in with you and how this simple behavior is actually one of the most beautiful expressions of canine love.